G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, and we are back with something new. I said in previous streams slash videos that I was considering a couple of different options. It's pretty obvious which option I went with, but I'm going to explain why I went with this one. I was going to play Enderall, I think it's called, which is a complete overhaul mod for Skyrim. So it brings in a completely brand new storyline, doesn't even exist in Tamriel, it's a brand new world, just using the Skyrim as an engine to build a whole new adventure. And that was going to be my next playthrough. And the reason it was going to be my next playthrough was because having played Skyrim for the last few months, I am very used to the controls, very used to how that game works and everything. And I felt that I could continue to play, even though that was a new game and they changed some mechanics in the game, but not a lot. I felt I could play that without a hassle, and I should have fun playing that new adventure. Assuming I find the adventure fun, but I'm not going to be, fighting against the controls all the time because I'm trying to do something and I'm hitting the wrong keys and all that sort of stuff. So that was going to be my option. That was going to be my choice. But then I went and had a look at it, and there's actually 2 copies of the game in Steam, and the one that I had favorited or put on my watch list was the one for the standard edition. I went then and found the special edition copy, and it's not going to be available until sometime next month at the earliest. So we're going to do something in the meantime. My second choice was always Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, so that is what we are going to do. I have played a tiny little bit of this. I've played my way, because that's the prison right there. This is actually the main map of Cyrodiil. It's the city of Cyrodiil, or the Imperial City, with the prison there that you start the game in. I've left there a little bit, and I've done a couple of different sort of starts, played around a little bit. I've gone back into the city. I've explored a little bit of the land around here, and that's it, 100%. That's all I've done. I've also looked on some wikis to get an idea of what I want to do, basically from the stuff that I've done so far, looking at the game. And I know what I want to do. I'm going to play as a Spellsword, even though I love playing ranged characters. Ranged combat in this game sucks. I might very briefly point it out, just to show you how much I hate it. There's 2 things about it that I particularly dislike. One is that the arrows drop ridiculously quickly, and the second one is that the animation for loading the bow is just wrong, and that irks me to no end. So you'll also notice that I've moved the camera. That's because of the changed layout of the screen for this game. And yeah, even though I normally play archers, I have always liked the idea of spell swords, or maguses, or whatever you want to call them. Someone who can attack with one hand, and swing a sword in one hand and a spell in the other, which is also why I like the idea of The Witcher, not having really played that very much yet. So that's what we're going to build here. We're going to build a 2-handed sword build with spells, and we're going to go as an orc. Now, the reason for that is that the prime attributes that a spell sword needs are I don't think it's called wisdom, is it? Let me just have a quick look. Why am I classes? I could do this build without a class. It wouldn't be a problem. But a spell sword, no, it's willpower and endurance are the 2 things that you need as a spell sword. And those are 2 attributes that the orc starts with. And in particular, the orcs focus on bladed weapons, and heavy armor will work really well with the build as well. So that's what we're going to do. Let's dive on in. I've sort of muted the game volume at the moment because I had some concerns about the background music.
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
Okay, first of all, I hope that music did not get demonetized in YouTube once this is finally up on YouTube. If it did, I'm sorry, it's probably been muted, so you had to put up with that having probably no sound on it at all. No, the other thought I had, I'll leave for a little bit. So, we're going to build a Spellsword. I'm going to call him Magus, in honor of the class from Pathfinder, just because, I don't know, because. And as I said, we're going to build an orc, because orcs start with high willpower and endurance, and that's what we need. And they also have a good ability with armor, heavy armor, and blades, which is other stuff that the Spellsword uses. Now, interestingly enough, the other one that would probably do really well is Bretons, because they get magical resistance, which would be really useful for this. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with Orc, and we're going to go from there. I really don't care what I look like, so I think what I might just do is come in here and go random, and go, yep, and that's going to be it. Did that randomize the hair as well? It didn't. I can't really randomize the hair. Well, who cares then? It's going to stay as that. Yes. So, to move forward, press W, push S to move back. Left is A, right is D. The mouse turns you to run, push left shift. In fact, there is a key that you can use, which is slash or question mark, to auto run, which is what I've just turned on now.
By the 9 divines, you're an ugly one. But then all orcs are ugly. The most repulsive race in all of Tamriel, really. At least you've got that brutish strength, huh? Must be nice to just rip someone apart like some kind of monster. Oh, but you must be the one orc weakling, huh? Captured by Imperials. How pathetic.
One little bit of text.
You're going to die in here, orc, like an animal in a cage.
I might
Hey,
just
you
move
hear
the
that?
camera up
The
to
guards
there.
are coming. For you.
That's not what I wanted.
Yes, sir. My sons,
What is that at?
they're dead, aren't they?
We don't know that,
78.
sire. The messenger only said they were attacked.
No, they're dead. I know it.
My job right now is to get you to safety. What's this prisoner doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
Never mind. Get that gate open. Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
No sign of pursuit, sir. Stay put, prisoner.
Good. Let's go. We're not out of this yet.
You. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength.
Just a sec, hang on. Just want to get this. I could have typed this value in, but there. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just realised there's text just down there often that we need to be able to see. I might even move this up a little bit more later, but we'll see how we go now. Thoughts on this guy? Of course, Sir Patrick Stewart doing the voice. Love it. It's great. I don't know if anyone else ever has this. You can be sitting there watching TV or whatever media you want, an ad or something comes on, and you see somebody talking, and you go, that's not their voice. Now, it's really common here in Australia because what will happen is someone will produce an ad for a product, and rather than producing an ad, like it's an American company, they've produced an ad for the product, they're going to release that product in Australia. Rather than creating an Australian copy of that ad with all new actors and all of this sort of stuff, they just take the original ad and they dub an Australian person's voice onto the actors, right? I can always tell. When I'm looking at somebody, I've always got this thing of, that voice doesn't fit that face. That person, no matter how well they get the matching, no matter how well that person gets the cadence and everything right, it always seems wrong. This face of this character of Emperor Uriel, I think it is, Septim, doesn't quite fit Sir Patrick Stewart's voice, in my opinion. I don't know what they need to do to change it. I think it's just, and this is a problem that this game seems to suffer from, the aging that they have in the character models is just a little bit too much. And I think this just looks a little too old for Sir Patrick Stewart's voice, in my opinion. But anyway, let's go on with this, and we'll see how we go with this adventure. Let's have some fun. What's going on?
Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell. I am your emperor, Uriel Septim. By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way. Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet. As for what you have done, it does not matter. That is not what you will be remembered for. You will find your own path. Take care. There will be blood and death before the end.
Please, sire, we must keep moving. Better not close this one. There's no way to open it from the other side.
Now, I've actually looked for the whatever was used to open this in another playthrough, and it isn't there. It's completely. It might as well be magic. There is no button there. There is no way for you to open it early. But that's just me. Of course, I'm going to look for that. Let's get a couple of things set up. So you can see over there. I've got my health, mana, and stamina bar on the very far left. I've got what is in my hand, and I've got my current spell. So that current spell is good. Now, because we're essentially only going to ever have one weapon, let's set up the spells that we're going to use. So that's currently heal minor wounds. So we're going to use all of the hotkeys, and you get told about these later, but I'm going to set up Flare as my main spell on number 1, and heal minor wounds on number 8. Oops, and I keep trying to use escape to get rid of that rather than tab. You'll see that come up a lot. I apologize in advance. I know it's going to be a problem. It's something I'm just incredibly used to playing Skyrim, and it doesn't exist here.
Close up left. Protect the Emperor.
Take them down! You thought we'd go down easy?
Are you all right, sire? We're clear for now.
Okay, while that's all happening,
She's dead.
let's get her sword and the steel short sword. I'm not going to bother taking any torches, I don't think. All I want from these guys is any potions they might have, and they don't have any. Okay, let's set things up. To begin with, Renault's Akaviri Katana is the best weapon that we can use, so we're going to equip that. I'm keeping the steel short sword though, because it's a good weapon later on. It doesn't do as much damage. You can see it only does 1 damage compared to 2, but it's much faster than other weapons. We'll leave the rest for the moment. Oh, that's what I want to do. Let's set up that on number 7. So number 7 is our healing, if I can remember that.
We will get you out of here.
They won't be the first to underestimate the blades. I'll take point. Let's move.
You stay here, prisoner. Don't try to follow us.
Yeah, I can't. You're going to lock the door anyway. Ready and attack. Okay. I am going to take all of this rat meat. I'm not going to grab a lot of the weapons and stuff that are around here. I really should be paying more attention to those. I can't remember if there's another rat in here, but there is a chest. Okay. Rusty Iron War Axe. So it appears that axes and maces are both considered blunt weapons for some reason. So the only bladed weapons are swords, 1- or 2-handed, or daggers. Actually, you've got daggers, short swords, long swords, and claymores are the types. This is just too heavy for me to take, and it's not really worth the money, so we're going to leave it behind. And that will go for all of the others as well. More blunt weapons, don't want that. I do want the lockpicks. I don't think I'm going to bother with the torches, to be honest. That's another thing that I'm going to do in this game. Damn it, I just missed the spell. I don't like the lockpicking interface. In fact, I'm loath to use the word loathe because of the connotations. but I absolutely hate, with a passion, the lockpicking interface in this game. So it's very possible that I may not actually pick many locks. I'm pretty sure you could get through, like with my Skyrim challenge, I'm pretty sure I could get through this without using lockpicking. Am I going to do that? Probably not. Okay. I'm going to very briefly, I'm going to grab that shield and I'm going to grab the bow. So what I want to do is I want to show you what I hate, absolutely hate about archery in this game. So let's have a look. Oh, I did it again. Okay. So, first of all, putting an arrow on the string. G'day, Shifts. How you doing? This animation of tipping the bow over, well, it's over that way, and then putting the arrow on is just absolutely ridiculous. I'll show you again. Like, nobody, if anything, you'd tip the bow in the opposite direction, to the right-hand side of the screen, not to the left, because you've got to put the bow, you've got to put the arrow, if you tip it over to the left like that, you're putting the arrow underneath the bow and then standing it up. Whereas if you tip the bow the other way, you're putting the arrow on top of the bow and then releasing it. Now, you do also have fatigue on holding the bow back. I actually feel that's good. The other thing is the amount of drop. So let's aim directly at that brick there. All right. And see how much it dropped. In fact, Skyrim does the opposite. If I was to aim directly at that in Skyrim, the arrow would actually have gone and hit somewhere up about here. It would actually go over it. But there's just way too much drop. The whole animation for readying the bow is a little bit slower than I would like. Just overall, I do not like archery in this game. So we're going to put that away. We need to put on, actually the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to get naked for a minute. Metaphorically, of course, or however you want to sort of put that. So we've just stripped all that off so that we can put on, actually, our leather boots, our leather cuirass, and our leather shield ready to go. And let's get our katana back out. Okay, the shield is only there for show more than anything at this point. Yes, I'm just starting out with this. Just finished my last playthrough of Skyrim in the last stream, and so I decided I'm going to play this, which I haven't. I've got maybe 3 or 4 hours in this, just mucking around, a couple of starts. I've got out of the starting dungeon, and that's it. So really don't have a huge amount of experience, but I do know a little bit about what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a Spellsword is the class I'm going to select. I know you can go without classes and just sort of freewheel it, which is a lot more like what Skyrim is, but I'm going to stick with the classes for this. So I loathe this interface. I hate it. So as soon as I can get spells to do this instead of this, I will do that. First level, I don't have too much of a problem getting through the interface, but higher levels, I just find it incredibly hard. And so I don't plan to do that very much. I'm not going to do many locks. Okay, this is where we came in. Wrong way. We've got to go out this way. I don't want that arrow. I'm not going to pick up any arrows. So yeah, sword and spell build. And I missed. Oh, and somehow he dodged that. Yeah, I know my magic is getting low, but he won't have dodged that. Okay. any more in here. Doesn't look like it, but we'll keep an eye out. Actually, that's the other thing I need to do. Oh, look at all this. I do want these. I definitely want that, and I want that. So let's briefly put that away. Okay. And we will put those and those on. Very nice. Armor of 9. That will be very handy. What else have we got? Nothing over here. Okay, so I know what's coming here. There's one down. Damn it. See the shadows there of this zombie or whatever he was. I'll take that, but I don't want those. They're useless. I really wish there was a take-all... Like, I wish there was a lot more key combinations to do little things like... So in Skyrim, anytime you want to interact with something, you can use the E key, and that's in a lot of cases where you don't expect it to be, you can still use it. And then you've also got the Y key that you can use to sort of confirm things. How is that missing? That didn't miss. And I'm out of mana. And so, like, and a take-all button, a take-all key when you're looting something. Like, I want all of that. I want to be able to just hit a key and have it take all, but there doesn't appear to be one. If there is, it's not really obvious, and it's not listed in the controls or anything. There is a Z key, which is supposed to be a grab key, and I don't know what that does, except maybe... Does that allow me to... It does, which I can't... Yeah, okay, so that's the whole pick something up and drag it around thing, which is interesting. Okay, that was a lucky hit there. That was not luck, that was pure skill. So there's a chest just here, but it's a very hard chest to get into because it is not the novice chest that we've seen before. I think I killed that one. I might come... No. How many? I've got 20 lockpicks. Let's quick save. See, this has got 3 things you've got to get through. Oh, that was lucky. No. I get really frustrated with this system when I can't get it to work properly. Okay, I got into it, and really, for all of that effort, it wasn't that great. There have been other times when I've basically gone through all my lockpicks trying to get that. It's probably just going to be a matter of getting used to it. You little bugger dodging that like that. Okay, that's a better shield than the one I've got, and that's a helmet, which will be nice. We'll pick up all of the food type ingredients. I'm actually tempted to take this. It weighs a lot though, but it is technically a two-handed weapon, and that's ultimately what I really want to be using. But it's a blunt two-handed. Yeah, I think I'll stick for the moment with this. Right. Oh, I wanted to swap the shield, didn't I? And put on the helmet. The rusty iron shield. I don't really want to, as I said, I'm not going to use it much. As soon as I can get myself a claymore, I will sell that shield. Nothing else there. Nothing in those boxes. I gotta say, I'm liking the effectiveness of that spell early on. Being able to one-hit these guys is quite good. There's nothing there, but I do know that there is a couple of coins there that I have noticed from previous, and then I've got to scratch my leg for some reason. Okay, let's just get this bag. Now, did I set up... Oh, good. I've already got the weak healing potion on 7. 6 will go weak sorcery. The problem is going to be remembering those. Got him, so that's my destruction skill increasing, which is good. Now, there's something that I found really weird last time I did this playthrough. That's worth 5 coins. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm not going to use the alcohol, mostly because it reduces the sorts of skills or attributes that I need to do spells, and so I don't want to reduce that. Damn it. Oh man. Really got to work on that aim a little bit. Couple of lockpicks there. Flawed ruby. A silver goblet. What's in the chest? Yeah. Healing. And sorcery potions. Very nice. Yes, I know about hotkeying items, thank you. Right. Now we're starting to get to the goblin part of the cave, if I remember rightly. That's worth some money. None of the rest of that is. And none of that is. Yeah, we're not going to sneak past him. We're going to blow him to kingdom come. with a spell. Obviously, for some reason we're too far away from... I don't know why I can't target that, but anyway. Take the lockpicks. Okay. I'm not going to use the mortar and pestle just yet. Although I don't think it really matters. $20 gold and 3 lockpicks. Very nice. Kaboom! And thankfully he tripped the trap for me too, so I don't have to worry about sneaking forward and doing that. Not that it's all that cumbersome or hard. Might as well search him. Oh yes, bear pelt and some gold. Very nice. He was already dead. I was pretty sure he was, but better to be safe than sorry. Go. Let's just get the rat meat. Even though it's not really worth the money. The iron arrows are worth gold. I could have been getting them and selling them. Who cares? So there's a guy just here. There was a guy just there. There's another one over here. And there's a third one. He's just there in the back of that. That is worth the money, I feel. And there's also one right there. Let's take out that guy as well. The knife's not worth anything. Is that going to get him? It did. Strangely enough, if you get close to that guy, and or if he sees you, is I suppose the best way to put it. If that one around there, because he's a spellcaster, if he sees you before you manage to kill him, he actually is way harder to kill because he, I don't know, it's taken me multiple spells to kill him other times. Okay, as I said, I've got to work on that aiming a little bit. That mace is not worth the money. It's a flax tunic. I might grab that because it's worth a gold. I'll take all of that. Have we gotten... I feel like we have gotten rid of all of the rats in there now. Oops. everything in here is worth taking. It's all money. And we've now got a repair hammer. Yes, I'm aware. It's going to take a while, though, for my gear to get bad enough that I'm going to want to use the repair hammer. I definitely want that staff. And there's this chest over here. Let me just triple check. Yeah, nobody's moving down there, so we're good. Iron longsword. Heavy, but a good source of money, which is why I'm going to take it. I'm not going to use it. The backup weapon I'm going to use is the short sword. Mostly just because... Oh, I'm over encumbered. This is where the game gets really weird. You cannot do anything. I'm stuck. I cannot move. So I have to get rid of something. That's not worth the money. And really, that's the big one. That weighs 60. But I might get rid of some of this really light stuff. We're at 280 and a 225. Let's just go with that for the moment. It's not a huge amount of stuff that I can get from here on out, if I remember rightly. Let's just get the rat meat. And the more rat meat. And even more rat meat. Jump over here and get this rat meat. Okay. Did I get that? I did. Okay, that's where we came. Yeah, that's where we came in. That's where we've got to go out. You know what? They don't weigh much, but they're a good source of money. Let's actually do that. Let's come back here and grab every other arrow that we can. We're not in any hurry. So you only had a rusty dagger. Don't think there was... Well, some of these guys might have had arrows. Just trying to remember where I've thought I've seen arrows. I think he might have had some on him. No, athletic skill increased. Was there arrows in here? Okay, so there wasn't. But let's head back out further. Just put this sword away for the moment. Move a little bit faster. Nothing's going to attack us back this way because we killed everything. Let's grab those. And those. Nothing there. Encumbered again. put away that. Actually put away the longsword. Okay. So, you didn't have any. There was nothing up there. Nothing in there. Torches in there. You can't sell torches, which is one reason why I'm not picking them up. They don't weigh anything, but I also don't really need them. I mean, it's not that I've got some sort of... I don't have, like, the Khajiit ability to see in the dark or anything, but so far things don't get too bad. I just want to head back to... There is that main... the main room where you first find the bow. Like, that's all I'm looking for. Is there anything? There's nothing in there. Once I've found that room, we'll get out of here. So there's nothing in here. There's no chests that I remember in here. Rusty war axe in there. There's nothing in that. I don't think there's any arrows down there. I don't remember if there's any in this chest up here, so I'll really quickly double check. There wasn't, just torches. That's fine. I mean, I could grab a couple of torches as backup, but the thing is, I don't have a spell yet. But I think once I choose to be a spellsword, I get some spells. And in particular, one of those is a light spell. It doesn't last a huge amount of time, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go with that. Go through here. You didn't have any arrows on you. Didn't think so. And... okay. 24 arrows there. And then... yeah, this was the room where we first get the arrows. So over here. So there's none in there. There's none in there. Where did I put those arrows? I know I dumped the bow and arrows here somewhere. Did I put them in like this box? I did. I grabbed those arrows. Actually, those are all worth a gold each. And they don't take up much weight. So I feel like that's worthwhile. Okay, we're done. Let's move. Okay, we are already running. Thinking there. Double check that one. We're all good. I'm actually just jumping at the moment because I think keep seeing increases in athletics and acrobatics when I do stuff like this, so I feel like it's a good little way to help raise skills and maybe get my level up sooner. Not that I expect to get a level up before I get out of the dungeon, but we want to keep bumping my head on the ceiling, I know that much. Very low ceilings in here. Maybe I'm just tall. Maybe orcs are taller than I thought they were. Okay. So I think we're back in new territory now.
We should find an defensible spot and protect the Emperor until help arrives.
Help? What makes you think help will get here before more of those bastards? We need to get the Emperor out of here.
Oof.
Damn it! It's that prisoner again!
Knocked him through
Kill
the
him.
floor.
He might be working with the assassins.
No, he is not one of them. He can help us. He must help us. They cannot understand why I trust you. They've not seen what I've seen. How can I explain? Listen, you know the Nine, how they guide our fates with an invisible hand.
It doesn't matter which of these I pick.
I've served the Nine all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens. The skies are marked with numberless sparks, each a fire, and every one a sign. I know these stars well, and I wonder which sign marked your birth.
Okay, so there's lots of things here that are interesting that I could pick, but because I want to be a Spellsword, and because the primary attributes of the Spellsword are willpower and endurance, the lady gives me a bonus of 10 points to each of those. Another one that might be interesting would be Atronach, but the problem there is that the only way to get magicka back is to either use potions or absorb it from spells that are cast against you. The mage is just a straight 50 points of magicka, which might be nice. I've actually liked the steed, the idea of the steed a little bit, just to make you faster. Of course, the warrior would be a good option for what I'm doing as well, but I'm just going to go with the lady because that works well, I believe.
The signs I read show the end of my path. My death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
What about me?
Your stars are not mine. Today the lady shall fortify you in your quest for glory.
So that last line there is dependent on what sign you picked. So if I had to pick, for example, the tower, he would have said some line about the tower will protect you or whatever.
My dreams grant me no opinions of success. Their compass ventures not beyond the doors of death. But in your face I behold the sun's companion. The dawn of Akatosh's bright glory may banish the coming darkness. With such hope, and with the promise of your aid, my heart must be satisfied.
Aren't you afraid to die?
No trophies of my triumphs precede me, but I have lived well, and my ghost shall rest easy. Men are but flesh and blood. They know their doom, but not the hour. In this I am blessed to see the hour of my death. to face my apportioned fate, then fall.
So anyway, that last line of mine, "Aren't you afraid to die?" is actually one that, at first glance, doesn't fit an orc, in my opinion. Because if you've played Skyrim, you'll have come across the little thing of seeing an orc standing over two dead saber cats, and you go up and talk to him, and he's saying, "Well, I'm getting old. I'm slowing down. I need to no longer be a burden on my tribe. I don't want to be a burden on my tribe. I need a good death." So they don't have, they aren't afraid to die. So I actually, I sort of played this through this, about this far through the thing, doing exactly this build a couple of hours ago. And when I first got to that, I'm like, is there an option for me not to select this and say this? Because that doesn't fit as an orc. Orcs aren't afraid to die. So anyway, onwards. Where are we going?
I go to my grave. A tongue shriller than all the music calls me. You shall follow me yet for a while. Then we must part.
Okay. Let's just do a full save. And hang on a sec. Sorry, just wanted to have a drink.
You may as well make yourself useful. Here, carry this torch and stick close.
Damn it, he's giving me a torch.
We're the Emperor's bodyguards. Our job is to get him out of situations like this. Although I admit, things are not going according to plan. My job is to make sure the Emperor gets out of here alive, and I intend to do it.
Okay.
Stick close and let us do our job, and you'll be all right.
Actually, I'm interested now. No, I don't have any new spells or things like that. I wasn't sure, but I don't have anything new. I have the Fortified Endurance and Willpower because of the Lady's Blessing. And my 25% Orc Magic Resist, which isn't as good, as I've said, as a Breton. Was there another body here to search? Oh no, that's right, I knocked it and it went through the wall there. Fire Shield. I don't remember finding that previously. There's a chest right here. Take all of that.
Protect the Emperor!
This can only lead to your death, my guardian. Come with us. Your destiny is bound up with mine, and with the fate of Tamriel itself.
Yes, I know. I am coming with you. I meant to search the body, and you got in the way.
Oblivion! Protect the Emperor!
Is there anything through that door? No. Need a key.
For the Emperor!
Oblivion!
Actually, I'm going to lose this sword soon because they take it off me. So I think I want to switch to the short sword for the moment. Just so that I'm prepared. Oh, that's right, there's a chest there. With some bushons in it.
Hold up. I don't like this. Let me take a look. Looks clear. Come on. We're almost through to the sewers.
So we can't go there because it's locked, so we're trapped. They come down this way, and they want to guard the prince in here, the king in here. I find this is a good spot because I can sort of cast my firebolt over their heads. The Emperor stands there, and the other bad guys come out of there. So this feels like a good spot to defend. Just a quick save.
It's a dead end. What's your call, sir?
I don't know. I don't see any good options here. They're behind us. Wait here, sire.
Wait here with the Emperor. Guard him with your life.
This
For
one's
the
mine!
Emperor!
Whoops, wrong spell.
I can go no further. You alone must stand against the Prince of Destruction and his mortal servants. He must not have the Amulet of Kings.
Oops.
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Damn it, I misclicked. Why can't I not attack? Okay.
No. Talos, save us.
Let's grab that and that.
We failed. I failed. The Blades are sworn to protect the Emperor. Now he and all his heirs are dead. The amulet. Where's the Amulet of Kings? It wasn't on the Emperor's body.
He gave it to me.
Strange. He saw something in you. Trusted you. They say it's the dragon blood that flows through the veins of every septim. They see more than lesser men. The Amulet of Kings is a sacred symbol of the Empire. Most people think of the red dragon crown, but that's just jewelry. The amulet has power. Only a true heir of the blood can wear it, they say. He must have given it to you for a reason. Did he say why?
I must take it to Joffrey.
Joffrey? He said that? Why?
There is another heir.
Nothing I ever heard about. But Joffrey would be the one to know. He's the Grand Master of my order. Although you may not think so to meet him, he lives quietly as a monk at Waynon Priory, near the city of Coral.
How do I get there?
First, you need to get out of here. Through that door must be the entrance to the sewers, past the locked gate. That's where we were heading. It's a secret way out of the Imperial City. Or it was supposed to be secret. Here, you'll need this key for the last door into the sewers. There are rats and goblins down there. But from what I've seen of you, I'm guessing you're an experienced bard. Am I right?
Okay, that's interesting. It thinks I'm a bard. No, I'm not an experienced bard. Why would it say that? See, I haven't used stealth at all. I've used the blade, I've used block, I haven't used alchemy, I'm not wearing light armor, although I did get a slight increase from light armor at one point when I got attacked by one of the rats. No, I want to be a spellsword. Willpower and endurance, got those already. Been using a lot of destruction. Been using the blade a lot. Haven't been doing much block. I've been doing heavy armor, and I've done a tiny little bit of restoration. So that's definitely what we're going to take.
Really? I would never have guessed. Still, I don't think you'll have any trouble with rats and goblins.
After the sewers, then what?
You must get the amulet to Joffrey. Take no chances, but proceed to Waynon Priory immediately. Got it?
Immediately? I'm going to say no. Not because I don't understand, but I don't know what he says.
Take it easy. You'll be fine. I know this is a lot to take in all at once. No one's more surprised than me that I'm sending an escaped prisoner off with the Amulet of Kings. But the Emperor trusted you for a reason, and I trust the Emperor. The Amulet of Kings must get to Joffrey at Waynon Priory. He'll know what to do with it. Joffrey should know how to find the heir the Emperor spoke of. The amulet must reach Emperor Uriel's heir so a new Emperor can be crowned.
And what about you?
I'll stay here to guard the Emperor's body and make sure no one follows you. You'd better get moving. May Talos guide you. By the way, thanks for recovering Captain Renault's sword. I'll see that it is given a place of honor in the halls of the Blades.
That's where I lose the sword. So this is some weird stuff that these quests all just start appearing from somewhere. Snack Grabura of the Chestnut Handy Stables is offering to outfit a horse with armor at no charge to anyone who presents her with a note like the one that I've found. So that gives me free horse armor. Not going to do that, I don't think. Did I search those bodies? Then they get another one. Dunbarrow Cove. A great battle took place centuries ago in Anvil Bay. The legendary pirate Torredan ap Dougal, the captain of the infamous Black Flag, was defeated by the first Count of Anvil. Rumours have been circulating of a hidden underground cavern beneath Castle Anvil. If the rumours are to be believed, then the final resting place of Captain Dougal and his ship have been uncovered. I should investigate the rumour. That's nice. Nothing on you either. So this is our way out now. I'm expecting a few more quests to pop up for no real reason. Oh, actually, that's the other thing to look at. So I should now have more spells. And I do. Absorb health. So this is a touch-based attack where I can siphon health off opponents that are right in front of me. I don't know that I want to do all that often. Cold touch. 15 points of frost damage. That is really good. I'm actually going to put that on spell on my slot 2, I think. I've already got Flare, of course. Heal minor wounds, I've got that already. Open easy locks. I definitely want that. Protect. Shield 5% for 30 seconds on self. I don't know that that's going to be all that useful. Shocking touch. That one will go on 3. Soothing touch. No. Let's put open easy lock on 5 and starlight on 4 if I can remember all of those. So let's just do there's starlight. Very nice. And then what did we say? 5 for the open easy lock? No, come on. There we go. I don't need lockpicks, at least for that anymore, I don't. Another quest. Unearthing Mehrunes Razor. I have heard talk of a lost Aliad city called Varus Balam, where Mehrunes Razor is hidden. If I search the ruins of Sundercliff Watch in the eastern Nibbin, I may be able to find the lost city and recover this powerful Daedric artifact. Deep Scorn Hollow. According to a mysterious note that's been delivered to me, somehow, I've inherited an underground lair called Deep Scorn Hollow from a long-lost relative. It's situated at the... This is seeming so much like a common-day spam email. Hi, I'm writing to let you know that you've just inherited an underground lair called Deep Scorn Hollow from a long-lost relative. It is situated at the southernmost point of Cyrodiil, south of Leyloin. It's marked on your map for location. At the first opportunity, you should make your way there. There is a small fee associated with... Yeah, no. I may go and have a look at that eventually. According to a deed that's been delivered to me, again, more spam, I've inherited a property called Frost Crag Spire from a long-lost relative. Where are all these long-lost relatives coming from? I've marked its location on my map. At the next opportunity, I should make my way there and inspect my new acquisition. Battlehorn Castle. I've heard rumour that the defenders of Battlehorn Castle are besieged by marauders and are appealing for aid. Apparently the commander has been killed and they're offering the castle to anyone who can help lift the siege. That's 3 places that I can basically call home with minimal work. Well, one of them I've got to lift a siege, but the other 2 I could just have to turn up by the sounds of it. Nothing in there? Okay. Let's make sure we're back on our regular spell. Oh man, I can't believe I missed that. Well, actually, I can believe it. Rusty iron short sword. No. Normally I would say yes to that, but I'm running low on... I will say yes to it. I am running low on carrying capacity though, so I need to be careful with what I take from now on. Take the wheel of cheese. You have picked up in order to move again. Why is that a tutorial quest? I've already done that multiple times. So I have 109 gold out of that. But that means they all weigh like 11 pounds all up. Like getting rid of that will resolve that issue. Let's take all of that. Oh, and I'm encumbered again. I really should get rid of that, but it's worth 60 gold. Let's get rid of the leather shield's worth. That's actually good money, and it only weighs 3, and it's worth 20. Those aren't worth the money. That's reasonable value as well. It's actually that's pretty crappy. I mean, it gives me good protection. A protection of 6, but... Anyway, how does that note weigh half a pound? At least that one doesn't weigh anything. Can't remove that. Bunch of keys. The bear pelt's worth too much to sell. The flawed rubies, that stuff's all worth too much to sell. 49 lockpicks. They don't weigh anything, thankfully. I've got 2 repair hammers. I might get rid of the silver goblet and the silver vase just to free up a little bit of space. Let's get rid of that torch just because I don't need it at the moment. Don't think there's anything over there. I'm going to come over here first. Yeah, I've already searched you already. You've just got some rat meat, which I will take. Actually, you know what? I was thinking previously about whether I should use all the ingredients I've got to make up some potions that I can sell. And my first thought was, no, don't do that. But now that I think about it, yes, I should do that, because each potion uses at least 2 ingredients, most of which weigh about half a pound. The resulting potions, though, will weigh less than the combined amount of the ingredients, so it sort of feels like it would be worthwhile as a way to reduce carrying capacity. Just bones. Yeah. Yeah, Yes, I know about that sneaking thing. Okay. And we are outside. Really good time to do a full save. Okay. Repairing the orrery. I've discovered a note from Bothiel at the Arcane University. If I can recover the dwarven artifacts that have gone missing, there may be a reward. May. Throw your witcher some coins. If there will be a reward, I will go and do it. I should travel to Camp Alice and see if I can track down these bandits. Okay, so that's another quest that I can do. The red arrow on your... Oh, quest completed. Yes, I know. So the red arrow on my compass indicates that that's where I need to go in that direction. I'm really only just standing over here because I'm taking stock of the situation. Let's have a look at our map. So, here we are. The orrery is over here. But what I'm thinking of doing... So first of all, there's some stuff on this little island over here that I can do. There's also, I think, something here. But if I come back into the market district here, I can sell all the stuff that I'm carrying that I don't need. Potentially buy some new equipment like the claymore that I want to use, and ultimately just get myself better set up, and then I can come out, do whatever's here, and then maybe think about making my way over to the Way in Priory. Excuse me. I don't want to do that too quickly because I just don't know what it is going to be like. So I think the best option straight up is heading... See, there's something going on over there. You can probably just see some movement. It looks like somebody flapping their arms like a bird, or maybe it is some weird flying thing. But this is the prison up here, so I need to make my way back up to it. And around it, because that's the main city over there, and there is a path. I have gone that way once. I've also had a look around this area, and I've done a complete 360 of this prison area up here to see if there was any like hidden little chests or dumps of equipment and stuff, and there didn't appear to be, so I don't need to worry about that. What is the time? 6:03 p.m. So if I don't hurry, I did spend longer in the dungeons, in the sewers, whatever you want to call it, than I really wanted to. So I need to get moving if I want to be able to sell stuff to people. Otherwise, I've just got to spend the night sitting somewhere and waiting or sleeping or what have you. I don't have a level, so I don't have to sleep. That's the other interesting thing about this game. To level up, you actually have to sleep to do it, which I think is good. So I don't know what happens if you go back into the prison, but I don't really want to find out. So, at least not at this point. So, wanted. The Grey Fox. Wanted for theft, embezzlement, forgery, pickpocketing, counterfeiting, burglary, conspiracy to commit theft, grand larceny, tax evasion. That's an interesting one. Slander, fraud, perfidy, which I'm not even sure what that is, and impertinence. So, I can actually be arrested for being impertinent. Very interesting. I wonder how they know that he's evaded taxes. The only way you can claim that someone is a tax evader is if you know who they are on the tax roll, and they have never actually paid their taxes. Now, the other thing that I've noticed here that was something that I've said several times in my Skyrim playthrough, the one thing I notice here there are a lot more Khajiit and Argonians just in general on the streets than there are in Skyrim, and I think that's wonderful. There's also a lot of boxes and stuff here you can see. Doesn't appear to be any problem with looting any of those, and there's another section over here which is basically exactly the same. I've said before, I don't really like this mechanic in games. If things are going to be out like this and there's no problem with stealing them, I don't know, it just seems weird. It's not really stealing, that's the thing. But I'm basically just going to go through all of these and anything that's worth something. So anything that... Oh, I'm over encumbered again. Maybe I need to sell all the stuff that I don't want first. Actually, no, let's try this. Let's do some alchemy. We'll do our alchemy first. So, quest completed. So, what I want to do is... Most of the stuff that I've got does restore fatigue. So if we go through this, that does restore health, that does restore fatigue, restore fatigue, restore fatigue, restore disease, restore fatigue, restore damage fatigue, damage fatigue, damage health, restore fatigue, damage health. So what I want to do is restore fatigue. I'll add one more ingredient that also does that. And let's just create all of those. Let's add another one. Okay, I don't have enough of other things that restore fatigue to do anything about that. That does restore health. Do I have anything else that does restore health? No. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Resist disease. I'm pretty sure that's the only item I've got that does that. So we'll have to remove that. Damage fatigue. I know I've got other things that do that. But that's... Can I not, like, just use rat meat and more rat meat? I guess I can't. Remove that. What else have we got? Damage health and damage health. So that and that. Okay, so that should have freed up some space, and it did. Not a huge amount. I still have a lot of stuff to sell. So I probably should sell what I've got first. I'll grab that though. So what do we got here? We've got the best defense, the gilded carafe, so that's going to sell food. Slash and smash, I know that's an orc who basically sells blunt weapons, so axes, maces, and the Mystic Emporium, I don't remember what he sells. Well, I know he sells magical stuff. Divine Elegance, I think that's just a clothing shop. And then over here we've got discount spells and staffs. So that one actually does just sell spells, and you can't sell anything to him. This guy, I don't know, you might sell more than that. And then over this area, the copious coin purse. I didn't go in here last time. Let's see if this is just a general trader. I think it might be.
What kind of deal can I make for you today? May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Well, may I interest you in some of mine?
A fine transaction.
I wish I didn't have to click this yes. I wish there was a key that I could press that would do that.
A good price.
Actually, no, I'm wearing those.
You drive. You've made a good bit of... That's a good...
Okay, I don't want any of those, so we'll get rid of all of them. I don't want to use damage fatigue, although I think I can use that on my weapon.
Bargain.
Same with those. I think I can poison my weapons for that. Poison of illness, no thank you. Potion of fire shield I might keep. I don't care about Night Eye because I've got the spell. Restore fatigue. I don't really think I'm going to need. I'm not really using much in the way of fatigue-based stuff.
A good price. You've made.
So that's another fatigue potion. We'll get rid
A
of all
good
of
price
those.
for a good customer.
We'll keep all of that stuff. The Bloodstained Note I can't sell. Chameleon, I'm going to sell that scroll. And I'm going to sell it because I already know that spell, so that's just something I can sell. For now, I don't care about soul gems.
A good price for a good customer.
Bear pelt, yes, definitely going to sell
You've made
that. Sell each of those.
A fine transaction.
The sapphire, topaz,
A fine.
gold nugget. Keep that. I feel like I should sell some of these lockpicks, but well, they do sell for 2 gold each. Let's just keep, say, 20 on me for now, even though they don't. Oh, I'm going to sell 20. No, I want to sell 33. There we go.
A fine transaction.
Sell the silver nugget as well. Now, what are you selling? What can I get from you? Anything that's useful here? Nope.
A pleasure to serve you. Goodbye. Please come again.
Okay. First edition. I think this is like a newspaper.
I'm Phintius, owner and proprietor of the first edition. Look around. If I don't have it, maybe I can get it. Need a book? You've come to the right place.
Ah, so they just sell books. Right. Well, yeah, I'm not interested in books. Thank you.
Good day.
Okay, so maybe they aren't the... So I think this Black Horse Courier then
Can I beg a favor of you?
is the newspaper. No, sorry, mate.
How goes it? Great! Have you heard any word about the other provinces? Nothing I'd like to talk about.
Hate making names.
Interesting. Take care.
You can be a normal human being in this channel, and that's fine. It's up to you.
Rajrad greets you. His brothers are Hasiri and Urjabi. The Black Horse Courier is our Imperial News Service, chartered by the Elder Council.
Yeah, okay, so they do
You
have,
too.
they do make a news service.
Oh, it's you again.
Oh, rightio. Well, I'm just warning you, I've blocked another person recently because they were just being an idiot in channel all the time. So it's just a friendly little warning. But if it's a quote, that's fine. I don't know the quote though. I haven't played the game enough to be aware. This is my first real playthrough. Take all that. Take all of that. Take all of that. That's not worth anything. That's not worth anything. else have we got? Take that. Take all of that. Yeah, take all of that. No, that's not what I meant to do, and that isn't what I meant to do. Probably going to keep that pickaxe. I don't know if I need a pickaxe, but I sort of feel like I probably will at some point. Take all of that. Take all of that. Yeah, I have seen a... so I have sort of followed a bit of a wiki article that talked about what it recommends you should do. And it does recommend doing that as well. The feed bag, I don't think I want to go to. These places are mostly going to be closed now, because it's this late. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do initially, I was saying just before, I'm going to start, once I've sold everything and done and basically made sure that I've got all the gear that I want here, I'm probably going to do maybe this little area here and this little area here, which I've noted sort of seem to have some caverns or whatever in them, little dungeons. And I don't know, I might then go over and do the Warren Priory straight away, but I don't know, maybe I'll come back and do the arena. I haven't decided yet. So what do we got there? So I think most of these shops are going to be, yeah, most of the shops are going to be closed now. Had I looted all the stuff over here? I don't even remember now. That's looted. That's looted. Okay, no, we obviously hadn't, so we will check everything here. Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember them saying that in the quest line, in the recommendation, that just signing up for that gives you some equipment. So yes, thank you. That is a very sound piece of advice. I will do that come morning. So I'm gonna basically loot everything here. That is worth anything. Do these ones before I forget it. Nothing there. Take all of that. Take that. Now, let's have a look at this stuff. Yeah, belt vest. Nothing. Nothing. Take all of that. just realised that the text appears on top of my head now. See if I can fix that. Where is my chat setup there? What is the settings on that? Oh, I think it's because it... hang on. Let's just move that all the way up. And then briefly, I need to come over to here. Why is... Oh. Well. Pitchfork and all of that. So what is... 964316395.
You've seen the latest Black Horse Courier. Quite a story, don't you think?
I read the thing once in a while.
Oops, what am I doing? That, and then just go
Is actually true.
like that. Very good. Don't mind me, just changing a few settings in the background.
Off duty now. Good. I'm hungry.
Right. So I think I've looted everything here. Let's make up some more potions because we've got more ingredients now. Restore fatigue. Restore fatigue. Along with that. So, restore agility, restore disease, fortify health, damage fatigue, damage health, restore fatigue. So I don't really have anything else I can make out of that lot. Starting to get up there as far as weight of stuff goes. So, where am I? Area Elven districts. Okay, the arena's the other side. I keep doing that wrong. So let's come around this way. And see what
You
signing
have
up.
my ear, citizen.
See what signing up for the arena can do for us. Right now. Ooh. The main ingredient. Okay. Interesting name for a shop. lion pelt. Okay, that's interesting. So I don't feel like I should raid all of these places until I can actually sell some stuff. Clear up my inventory as much as possible. But let's just at least finish this area. We'll see how we go. That, and I'm over encumbered. Okay, can I make any more potions and fix up? And that didn't really restore much at all. And I'm over encumbered.
Speak.
I don't know whether this is the right way to go, but let's have a look.
Stop talking already! And who in Shinji's name might you be? Look, if you're a spectator, go upstairs and talk to the gatekeeper. This ain't no damn peep show. And if you're one of those idiots who thinks they have something to prove in the arena, go over and talk to Owen.
Okay. Owen.
I don't know who you are, friend, but you've got about 10 seconds to tell me what you're doing in my bloodworks before I lop your arms off. You what? You want to be a combatant? Look at you! My granny could beat you, and she's dead! Wait, you're serious, aren't you? What is it with you people? You walk in, want to be combatants, and your entrails end up decorating my red room. All right, it's your funeral. Welcome to the arena, you filthy pit dog. You're free to fight so long as you know the rules of competition. Now let me give you your battle raiment. It's the uniform of all arena combatants. Do you want a light raiment or a heavy raiment? Here, wear it proudly. And keep it in good condition, would you? That way I can give it to some other suicidal idiot after you're dead. Just let me know when you're ready for a match, and we can get this over with. Get a move on.
Damn, that's heavy. I know you don't believe this. I know you think I'm just some stupid kid who doesn't know what she's talking about, but the truth is the truth. You are my father. One night with a scullery maid is all it takes. Branwen. Okay. Couple of iron claymores. Okay, I will be back for all of this once I have sold stuff. Heard a rumour a strange doorway has appeared on a small island in Nimbin Bay. Nibbin. Sorry, Nimbin is a hippie commune city, town near me. Well, it's not that near, not that close to me, but it's not that far away either, in Australia. Okay. Let's come back over here.
Speak.
And what am I actually carrying that I want to sell? Oh, yeah. Good bit of stuff. Let's just wait right here, I guess. So 8 hours will mean all the shops should be open. Okay.
I'm here to relieve you. It's about time.
Okay, I don't know why that one's not open. Feed bag is open, but I don't want to sell anything in there.
Feel free to browse, friend. I offer the finest goods and the lowest prices in all... That's a fair... You got a great... That's a good price. You got a great deal there.
Wish you could sell multiple things. Gee,
That seems a fair price.
I don't know what I'm doing with that, so I might just leave Hale
A fun...
alone.
A good... You drive a hard bargain. That's more than I would usually pay. An You got a great deal there. That seems a fair price. That's a fair deal. You've made a good bit of gold. A fun... That seems a fair price. A fine transaction. Tell your friends about me.
Okay. So...
Fare thee well.
So how much carrying? Not a huge
Get
amount.
your black horse courier here.
It doesn't appear to, D-Bills. I wish it did. Because, yeah, the selling mechanic is a little bit clunky and a bit annoying. Let's just explore over here.
How goes it?
Hi there.
Where does this go?
What is it, citizen?
Imperial Arboretum.
Hello there. Welcome to the arena. I don't think I've ever seen you around here before. I know all the regulars, believe me. If you're looking to join the arena as a combatant, you need to head down to the Bloodworks and talk to Owen, the Blade Master. If you're here to bet on a fight, on the other hand, you're talking to the right man. There are matches all day long, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's a lot of chances to fill your purse with coin. So what do you say? You want to bet on a match? Oh, all right. Very well then. If you need anything, please just ask. I'll be happy to take your bet if you change your mind. Have a good day now.
Okay, so you got to bet on a match to be able to go into the arena. That's fine. What is lootable down here? Nothing in there. Okay. How did I know that I wouldn't be able to carry the third? How much carry capacity? I have a fair bit, so light things like that. Is that a pig I'm hearing? It is. Red Room Gate. A couple of iron claymores. Damn it, I was hoping I could carry one of those, but it looks like I can't. I do want a claymore, although I don't know that I want an iron one. So we'll drop that for now. Don't know where it went though. Oh, there it is there.
Well met.
Stop talking already!
Oh, be quiet, you. at before. And we've already looked at that one. And those weapons I will have to come back and do another time. Okay, so what I don't know... Well, hang on. First of all, is there any sort of... There is a quick travel. Well, that's going to make things a touch easier.
Spare a coin for the infirm.
I take it you want something. Well, what is it?
Is there a better bookseller in the city than Fintius?
You gotta like a store named Slash and Smash.
Lots of big weapons there.
Good morning.
Herbal always has
You
some in
have my
stock.
ear, citizen.
This is where I want to go.
It's
Well
you.
met.
I know there's another couple of, like, general merchant traders.
What kind of deal? What can I interest you in?
Okay. No, you're selling.
A good price for a good customer. You drive a good price for a good customer.
I'm going to sell all of that rat meat
A
because it's
fine
taken up a
transaction.
huge amount of my inventory, encumbrance,
That's a fair-
whatever you want to call it.
That's a good deal. Thank you. Come again. Goodbye. Please, come again.
Good to see you.
Well, the problem is I hate the lockpicking interface. I find it really hard to use. And I'm planning on using spells where possible to do lockpicking, or just not lockpicking at all is going to be the way I do it, because I as much as it pains me to say it, I much prefer the lockpicking interface in how much am I doing in encumbrance right now? I've got about 30 left, which I don't think means I can carry any more weapons. As much as I hate to say it, I almost prefer
I'm a busy man. What is it?
the lockpicking interface in Skyrim,
Well met.
despite the fact that I think even the Skyrim interface is a little bit clunky. What I might do is I might switch to an iron claymore right now. That way I can sell the steel sword, and then later I will sell the claymore when I buy a steel one. Yeah, the problem is every time I click auto attempt, well, I have tried briefly in the sewers originally to do the auto attempt, and it was just, yeah, it didn't seem to be worth it. We'll see how we go. I did a playthrough of Skyrim
Children are starving.
a few weeks back, where I actually tested that, whether you could get through the Skyrim main quest line without having to use lockpicking. Because quite frankly, the fact in Skyrim, it's a little bit different here because there are spells that will do lockpicking for you in Oblivion. But in Skyrim there isn't, unless you load a mod. And I think that's wrong.
What kind of deal can I make for you today?
I personally feel there should be 3 ways you can get through any lock. Pick the lock, use magic, use brute force. All right? And the fact that you don't ever get brute force as an option is just wrong in this game, in my opinion.
An excellent bargain. Thank you for your business. Goodbye.
So quite frankly, if this game doesn't, if it's going to force me to use,
come again.
If I have to get through, if I have to open a lock to get through the main quest line of this game, then I feel like there should be multiple options as to how I can get through it. It's actually not that old a game, and I can point to games that are older, such as Neverwinter Nights 1, which had all 3 options. In the Neverwinter Nights, both 1 and 2, I'm trying to think if you could do that in Baldur's Gate as well. I think you could do it in Baldur's Gate too. But if you couldn't get through a chest, if there was a locked chest or a locked door, you had an option to break it down.
Stop talking already.
And that doesn't appear to be an option in some games, and I don't understand why, because it doesn't make sense. It should be an option to get through. Just double checking that there's no other gear that I can... What is that? That's a broom. We don't have a broom. So yeah, this may become... right. Type unlock. Well, I don't want to cheat like that either. I just feel it's poor game design if... Like, what they're basically doing, particularly because, as you know, the level of the higher the level of the lock, the more skill you have to have in this lockpicking skill. If the lockpicking skill is the only way that you can open a lock, such as in Skyrim, at least here there's spells, but if in Skyrim, if opening a lock is only accomplishable via a skill, and opening high-level locks requires you to get a high degree of that skill, I feel that is poor game design, because it's forcing you to learn a skill. The reason I got into this frame of mind in particular was because the first playthrough I did of Skyrim that I got all the way through was as a mage, a pure mage. And I resented the fact that I had to spend skills on something that wasn't my magic. I had to level up, and I didn't have to put points into it, but by leveling up lockpicking, I felt like I was taking away from the opportunity of leveling up other skills. It doesn't quite work that way,
I sell the best swords in the
but
city.
I felt like I was
And
being
I offer advanced
forced
training for armorers.
to learn a skill that
May I
really
interest you in some of my fine
wasn't
wares?
something that I needed on my character. So I'm going to buy the Steel Claymore, definitely. That's going to be a good weapon. I'm tempted to buy the Steel Helmet as well. I can afford it. So I think I'll buy that. I wish she had more steel armor, but she doesn't. And from what I can see, the only other place I can get armor in the merchant quarter anyway is actually from it's only light armor. They don't sell heavy. So I'm going to sell the rusty iron helmet for now, and we'll equip that in a minute. And I think we're good there.
Thank you for your patronage.
And then I'll get her to repair everything.
Good day.
Yeah, what am I doing? Heavy armor. Steel claymore. Get the right spell set up. And we are set. We are ready to go. Spellsword. Ah, no, we're not set. Down over here.
Samuel Bantian used to be a thief.
If you're just learning how to pick a lock, he's a good man to talk to.
I've heard others say the same. Take care.
I haven't been in here yet, so let's have a quick look at what stuff this guy's got.
You're in Rindir's Staffs, and I'm Rindir. I sell magical staffs. Imagine that.
I actually don't mind the humour that they've got in this game. I'm just curious to see if he's got any like spell books, and he doesn't. They don't really have spell books in this, is the thing. I don't have anything else left to sell. Nothing that he wants to buy, so that's cool.
Farewell.
Edgar Vautrin, you don't want the very best. You want cheap. And I got cheap.
There's someone that face reminds me of, and I'm trying to think it is. It's someone on YouTube. And for some reason, I think I know who it is. Tom Scott, a British YouTuber. He did a series of videos with some friends of his where they had made up their own little game show. And one of them looks a little bit like that. He's got black hair, black curly hair. Yeah, I don't know. That's really weird.
Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
I've already got that. No, I don't have that. It's only 10 points on touch. So I couldn't ever cast that because I don't have enough magicka. That's fine. Can I sort? I can. So let's sort by magicka. Fortify fatigue. No. Burning touch. I'm considering getting that. Absorb attribute luck. I don't know what that really does. It seems a little bit weird. Minor life detection. No, I don't think I want that. Snowball. So that would be like the flare that I've got. That would be an ice attack at distance. Bound dagger. No. Ease burden. No. Absorb skill mercantile. Don't see the point in it. Major wound. Drains health, 15 points for 10 seconds on target. So what I don't know is if that is any sort of ranged ability or if it's touch based, because it doesn't say. Water breathing, no. Absorb life. See, that's at least destruction. I'm considering getting that. And then I don't have enough to do any of these other ones. Yeah, let's buy that. And we'll see how we go. And let's buy that. Now, I do have some other touch-based spells. I think the main one I've got is a spark. I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to take burning touch. G'day, Baneberry. How you doing?
Come back and see me again. Take care.
So, let's have a look at our spells. So, I'm assuming, yeah, this major wound is... I don't know. That's a good... Only it absorbs 5. I wish it was doing more. Cold touch. Yeah, see, I've got cold touch and I've got shocking touch. And I think I've got one of those set up as a hotkey at the moment. What are my hotkeys? I got shocking... That's the snow... No, that can't be snowball. That's got to be shocking. That's cold touch. There. And then that one there is shocking touch. And I got those. Probably shouldn't have bought the snowball. That does 10 points. That only does 6. Let's swap that. Number 1 will make snowball now. And then major wound will make number 2. Let's see how that goes. So 1 is snowball, 2 is major wound, 3 is in close, 4 is the seeing, and 5 is the unlock. Okay. See if I can remember that in combat. Yeah, well, I'm just learning my way through Oblivion at the moment, Baneberry, but we'll see how we go. Trying to get used to controls, which is annoying because I keep clicking on things and they don't do what I'm expecting. I could come and search the rest of the city for stuff that I can loot and sell, but I don't really feel like I want to do that. It feels just wrong to me. What I might do is come back to the entrance of the prison, and then I think there's like a little dungeon over here, and I know there's one over here. And I think I want to do both of them. So let's fast travel to that. Oh, and it's raining. So, am I where... Yeah, I sort of am where I think I am. So, let's get the big old sword out and ready. See, I can hear something at the moment. And I think it's whatever I was seeing over here previously. Sideways Cave. What an interesting name. Whoops, I did not mean to do that, and that just wasted some magicka. The annoying thing is that the noise I think I'm hearing sounds like it's coming out of my right ear all the time. Which means it would have been over there. Yeah, it still sounds like it's coming from over that way, but I was expecting... See, there's that little thing over there. I was positive there was like a cave over here. Well, we just found that this is called Sideways Cave, so there is going to be a cave over there. What are you? Oh, you're a wolf. Okay. So I'm still hearing... maybe the sound's all screwed up, because even facing this direction I was still hearing it in my right ear, so... let's ignore it. So the other thing I'm going to try and do is, I mean, I definitely want to make sure that I'm continuing to level up my spells, but at the same time, I definitely want to get into melee combat so that I can get these skills working. Here's this flappy thing over here that I was seeing previously. Let's switch to this, which is... ooh. Okay, that is a distance spell. What are you? I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the... let's keep an eye on the... I might be able to see it on the replay on the other screen. Get an idea for what that thing was. Here it is. What's it saying? No. Oh, an imp. It did say imp at one point. Okay, it's an imp. What have we got? Just some bones. Bones, bones, bones. Grab that. In we go. Oh, hello there. Imp Gall. Oh, there's another one. Oh. Have enough magicka. Right.
Yeah!
I'll work out what that imp gall's good for later. I'm sure it's just a fairly standard sort of alchemical ingredient. way do I want to go from here? Let's go this way first, I think. Searched you already. Ah, good choice. This is a dead end. Some venison. Just some bones. There we go. Make it a touch easier to see. Nothing up there. What's up here? That? No. Rusty iron dagger. That can stay. It's not worth picking up. Let's grab that. Let's grab that. Okay, again, we've got two directions to go. Which one's the dead end? This one is. Well, 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 look at all this. I won't be able to carry much of this. Actually, I can carry it all. Tab, Tony, not... Oh. Well, I don't know about handier. There's certainly a lot of spells. It's also my understanding. I feel like this is back where I started, except the other side across the cavern. Can't see the dead bodies of the ones that I killed already, but that feels like that's the entrance I came through over there. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of spells. It's very different. It's also my understanding that as you get better at magic in this game, you can basically craft your own spells. And, you know, that's quite a... in some ways quite an important and powerful thing to do in here. One of the things that I'm aware of that is recommended that you do, or that is commonly done, I want that axe, is that, like, you can have a spell which has multiple effects to it. Right? And so one of the things that everyone seems to do that is sort of recommended that you do... Oh, there's a coin right there. It's just... Hang on a sec. It's just so much junk here. Can I... Look at all the coins just scattered around here. You just can't really pick up. And a whole bunch of weapons. Yeah, as I was saying, one of the things that it seems like everyone does is you add in... So you add multiple effects, but one effect that it's really quite good to add in, of course, is paralysis. So that your spell can not only do damage to your opponent, but can paralyze them to stop them from coming after you and doing more damage, etc. And that does sound pretty good for this build as well, because, you know, I'm doing a Spellsword here. Now, which way did I come in? Can I... Okay, that's the way I need to go, actually. Yes, that was back to where we were. Got to use the map a little bit more. That was the cave-in that stopped us from moving previously. Damn it, it's not that, it's tab. Tab. Got to remember, it's tab. Okay? I keep doing the wrong thing. Okay, so what spell have I got there? The cold one. Let's try the damage one. What's the third one? Oh, that's the close-in shock one. Oh, there. Look, I didn't even notice you there. The other thing that it might be affecting how effective the magic appears to be at the moment is that I have turned down the gameplay difficulty a little bit from halfway where it was by default. That was recommended in a wiki that I saw for first-time players. And if you've seen a lot of my streams, you know my thoughts on the difficulty level of games. I'm not one of these ones that likes to play on ultra hard difficulty or anything like that. Just a standard normal difficulty level is the sort of thing I like to play on. And I don't know, like with Skyrim, it was actually, I found in one of the wikis exactly what the settings meant. I don't have enough magicka, really? Oh! I really need to get some more magicka by the sounds of it. There was another one back there. Somewhere. Yeah, I found in a wiki what the various settings, or what the setting, there wasn't various, what the setting, or what the names of the settings meant in Skyrim. And so I was only ever playing on, I think it was Apprentice level, and that was the level where difficulty was 1-to-1, or damage was 1-to-1, I guess is the way to put it. Alright. So, you did 100% damage to your opponents, they did 100% damage to you. If you went down different levels, if you went to different settings, basically, so if you went lower than Apprentice, or it might have been Adept, whatever it was, if you went any lower than that, then you were doing more damage and your opponents were doing less, right? And then the other way around, if you go up to Legendary, at Legendary difficulty, you actually do only a third of the normal damage, I think it is. So even though your weapon says it does 100 points damage, it would only do 30 to your opponents. And all of your opponents are doing 3 times their normal damage to you. Merida Child, Earth Root Power, Sea Wave, Earth Like a Flood, People Out. Okay. So I don't know what the equivalent is in this with the, because it's a slider and it doesn't actually have a name and you can move it, you know, at a graduated amount through that slider. So it's hard to tell what setting would be you doing 100% damage and your opponent's doing 100% damage. I'm assuming that is just the very middle. I feel like there should be a way to get up to some of these areas. Up there and up there. And stuff like that. I'm not seeing it. That's not going to be where I need to go. Come on. Fourth star hour. Terror of the most terror of Meridia come. Okay. So Meridia, I think, was the the Daedric Prince that you get the Dawn Breaker sword from. I actually liked that sword, and that was pretty much the only one of the Daedric quests that really interested me much initially. From Skyrim, anyway. So I don't know if this is going to be a Daedric quest ultimately or not, but if it's for Meridia, I'm not too worried about it. I think it might have a good outcome. I don't expect it to give me the same sword, for example, but I'm not going to complain if it does give me something nice. Hello there. There was a couple of you. Oh, I'm out of magicka. Oh, I was out of magicka because he hit me with lightning, that's why. Silly me. How am I doing for carrying capacity at the moment? 193 out of 225. I'm so used to having all of my pouches in Skyrim, which increase my carrying capacity. So it seems a little strange being very limited like this. I might have to look at investing. Or investigating as to whether there are any mods for Oblivion that do similar. Okay, dead end there. Right there. Okay, how are we doing? Don't want to sit on that. I don't know what that is. Seems very weird though. Sit on this. I need gauntlets. Do I have gauntlets in this? I feel like I need gauntlets. White mage's shoes. Stone settlers, not rest. Meridia, terror of the most terror. Haste to safe home. Base ring of speed. Okay. In gold. No, I'm not using any mods. The only mod I was looking at trying to incorporate. Rusty iron short swords. Yeah, I knew that mace would encumber me. Let's drop it. And really, these aren't worth it to carry. We'll drop all of those. The only mod I was looking at, there was a couple of mods that I did try to use and couldn't get them to work, and they were both mods that were going to affect the lockpicking. Because I was saying before how much I despise the lockpicking in this game. And I tried to get a couple of mods. There was one mod, excuse me, that changed the lockpicking to be like it was in Morrowind. And Okay, which way have I gone previously here? I've gone... Okay, so... Right, I've done everything. I thought there was somewhere in here that I hadn't. That I hadn't gone, but it looks like I have. So, no. It's back this way. So yeah, in Morrowind, the way that you pick locks, apparently, because I haven't played a lot of Morrowind, I've only just sort of touched on it, was you have different quality lockpicks that equate to the actual, you know, they match up with the lock that you're picking. And I guess I've sort of finished this place. I don't know. There's this area here, which maybe I need to double check and see if there's a way up. Yeah, in Morrowind, lockpicking. G'day, Zane. So in Morrowind, lockpicking seems to be this thing where you have locks of different types, lockpicks of different types that you use with the corresponding lock, and you just put the lockpick in your hand, you wield it like a weapon, and you use it, and there's a chance it'll work. And if it works, great, you're in. If it doesn't work, you try again until it does work. And there's a chance that the lockpick will break, but either eventually you'll just break all your locks or you'll get through. And of course, you want to be using a pick that is at least the same level as the lock that you're trying to get through. And so that sounded good to implement here, because at least it felt like it would be better than the ridiculous thing that this game uses for that it calls lockpicking, because I just can't do it. It's terrible. Right? I hate it. Have I searched that? I have not. Take all of that as well. And I've got some rings that I can put on. So what have we got? A base ring of endurance. That would be good, because endurance is one of the attributes I need. But I'll put that. You can put on 2 rings. Beautiful. Base ring of speed as well. And I don't want any of this because I'm wearing heavy armor. An iron shield. Is that better than what I've got? I think my shield is a rusty iron shield. So let's swap that out. White mage's shoes. They don't seem to be doing anything. I read that. I'm not really getting the references here. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like there's a way up. Feels like there should be, but it doesn't feel like there is. Annoying is... yeah, because I don't want my video demonetized on... this was the area I didn't go to last time. Because I don't want my video demonetized, yes, annoying is definitely the word I would use. But normally I would use a little bit stronger language than that even, because, yeah, I just think it's a terrible, terrible mechanic. Ooh, felt like I was going to get stuck there for a second. Uh-oh. Now I definitely feel like I'm... oh no. Go back. There we go. Got up on there before. Anyway, who cares? I can't get up there. Is it even on the map? Yeah, it sort of is. Where does it bring you out? Over there. Oh, I know where that is. Yeah, I've already been there. Okay, we've done everything here. There's nothing else to do on this map, I don't think. There may be something hidden on here, but I'm not going to worry about it anymore. The only other thing I don't know is I don't know what secret doors and things like that might look like in this game yet. So it's entirely possible that I've walked past some secret door that's supposed to lead you to somewhere else and just not recognised it yet. But you know, that's okay. Done all of that. It's a nice little hole up there. Yeah, so this is here. This is where we were. So if I jump down here, that's where I was just a minute ago. And this is blocked off, so that's okay. I did all of that. So this is the only other way. We've been all through this before. Don't know what that's all about. There's nothing through there. There was nothing when I sat on there. That doesn't seem to do anything for me. I picked up everything here that I want. I searched both of those. And this gets me back out to here. And from here, I could push that up against there, I might be able to climb up there. Doesn't look like I can. And now I'm sort of stuck up on here. Only way down, only way up is down. The only way on is down. Okay. Can't go any further in here, I don't feel. We'll get out. Looks like we did everything there. So, hang on a sec. Which way? If I go that way, it's probably a little bit quicker. Okay, so come up here. Come through here. Now, yes, this is where I want it to be. Or is it? Because it doesn't really look like there's a way up from over there. Ouch, that hurt. This is not where I want it to be. Hang on. You must be able to get up that way. You must. You can. Okay, great. Yay, we're free. We can get out of here now. So there's no way to know, well, I don't know, whether we just didn't do 6:59 a.m. Okay. I don't know whether it just doesn't have the mechanic in this game or not, but there's no way to tell whether I've finished that dungeon or not. No, not there. Let's fast travel to the market district. Thoughts on this game as a whole so far? Yeah, I like it. As I said, the only thing I dislike about this is the... Let's go to this place. Okay, is the lockpicking. Barring that, I don't have a problem with it.
Say, you look like someone that could help us out. Having a bit of trouble with another merchant in town who goes by the name of Thornir. I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. You've made a good... That seems...
It would be nice to be able to sell things a little bit easier. And hearing that the voiceover stuff after every... Not after every sale, but after most sales is a little bit annoying. But I'm not going to say that's a big thing. It's just something to get used to.
A fine transaction.
Cure poison. Okay. Fire share. Okay. I should make up a bunch more potions to sell. Let's sell. Get rid of that. Get rid of the soul gem.
A fine transaction.
Oh, I don't know why I have bones, but anyway. And the wolf pelt.
That's a good deal.
I'm really not sure if I'm going to use the repair hammers very much, because I feel like it's just easier to go and get them repaired at a smithy, which, you know, is sort of like the whole not enchanting, but upgrading of gear that you could do in Skyrim. It always felt like you should be able to do that. You should be able to go to a smithy and pay for them to do it for you. Excuse me. G'day, Crossburst. What's going on? Oblivion is what is going on.
Come back and see me again. Bye. Tertullian, Sergius, and Cicero, the three Verus brothers. I'm Sergius. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Bound gauntlets? Bound gauntlets. You're kidding me.
Take care.
I shall. Let's have a look. Amongst all of my gear, what have I got? Anything that I want to do? So I need gauntlets. That's one thing. That's right. I got all that stuff that I can use to make potions. Actually, how far am I... Or can I tell how far I am away from making another level? Progress to the next level. Oh, God. This is going to take forever to get a level. Yeah, the Oblivion faces are a little bit weird. I will agree. Can't say that up close, I think, is the problem. It's sort of like you don't ever see them up. You don't ever see a lot of the faces of characters up quite that close in Skyrim. Maybe you do, but they probably had slightly better textures. It's just... It's not that they're too realistic, it's just that they've over... Things like crow's feet around the eyes and wrinkles around the corners of the mouth and stuff like that they've used to try and portray age. I just think they've overdone them a little bit. Even like you can see some of the lines underneath his eyes and around here, they're a little bit too exaggerated. Or maybe it's just the lighting engine that they've got doesn't work well with it or whatever, because you can see the lighting on this is not great, the way the shadows and everything are being done. I probably should turn shadows off. It might even look better. Let me just have a quick look. It's not there. It's here. Options, video. Has that changed anything? Yeah, it's stopped a lot of the flickering and stuff, but it's still... Yeah, I think what it is, it's the... And I'm no expert on this, but if I was to guess, I would say it's something to do with the lighting engine and the textures that they're using just really creates some funky looks at times.
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
How much money do I have at the moment? 655. Okay.
Take care.
I think I'm going to put the shadows back on. I don't know why. No, not that. That. Generally what it was. Let's just quick save. In some ways, the fact that the faces are, as you put it, goofy looking,
yes,
actually fits a little bit, because the game itself sort of has a bit of a goofy feel to it at times. A lot of the voice acting and stuff is a little bit tongue-in-cheek and all that sort of stuff, so I don't mind it. Let's just head to here again. What is it with the weather? Every time I go outside for an extended period of time, it starts raining. What the hell? A slaughterfish up on land somehow. That sounds like a bug to do with the rain. Well, it sounds like, it feels like it's a bug to do with the rain. Got him. Good. He's selling those. He's selling all of this. I'll just take it all. So this other guy ran away, did he? Come on then. That was fairly easy. Am I going to be able to carry all of that? Looks like I am. Okay. So I should be able to loot the rest of this place. Immortal blood. Some more arrows there. Rough leather shoes. Nothing in there. Nothing in that box. Nothing up my sleeve. I didn't make up all those potions I was going to do. Take the bow. What do we got here? A handful more arrows. Nothing in there that I want. Freaky. Felt like there was something else around here. Nothing hidden in there. I have come over to this place once before, and I can't remember if I got attacked around the back as well. Didn't mean for that to sound the way it did, but, you know. That. More arrows. Hello there. Maybe that's what I encountered around here previously. A spoon. A crab with his own spoon. Well, actually... oh no, it's spiders. Things are called spinnerets. Aren't they? Ooh, look at that. I think that's an urn root. Great. Just gave me a quest to collect an urn root. I feel like I'm back in bloody Darkhold or whatever it is, that underground thing you have to do in Skyrim and collect the 31 blood and urn roots. I did that already, didn't I? Yes, that's spoon. So what does this do? I draw power from the well. That's giving me some effect. What is it? Fortify Magicka. Aelid Well. Okay. Well, I don't really need Magicka right now. I might come back up here before I do the dungeon. Because I am going to do the little dungeon here. Where is it? I think it's around here somewhere. No, not there. Here's the entrance here. I am going to do this, but I want to go and sell everything that I've got first. But before we do that, I can't create potions while enemies are nearby. What enemies do you refer to? I see no enemies. Is there an annoying little crab somewhere? There's a crab there. Let's hack him up. Come on.
Oh!
Can I do it now? No. Ah. Are you going to attack? Certainly looks like it. You must be the enemy that was being referred to. Is there someone else just here? I thought I saw somebody else on the other side of this rock pile. No. And what did he kill? Oh, just another crab. Can I make potions now? No. What is this over here? A dead body. It must be someone I've already killed because they've been looted. Can I fast travel? No. Mighty fork. Okay. Yay! I think it's safest if I head back to the market district. And then make up the potions from there.
But if you're looking for light armor, best defense is the place to go.
So long.
Goodbye.
Okay. Let's make up some potions. So what do we got? Restore fatigue. Okay. What else we got? So what was I doing? Restore health, damage, intelligence. Oh, hang on. Okay, that looks like all the potions I can make. At least that I know how to make anyway.
What kind of deal can I make for you today? Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Yeah, not really. I just want to sell stuff by the looks of it.
That's a fair... a good price for... That's a good... That's a good... An excellent bargain. An excellent... A fine transaction.
Okay, I don't want any of them.
A fine...
I never use those.
You've made... You got a great deal there. Another satisfied customer.
I don't know that I'd say satisfied, but...
Goodbye.
Sure. It doesn't use it up.
Please,
oh, that's
come
very
in.
nice. I can then sell it.
What kind of deal can I... What can I interest you in? You've made a good bit of gold. Another satisfied customer.
6 gold is not a good bit.
Again.
What did I want to do? Oh. Is it this one? No, it's this side.
Anvil is all in an
Going
uproar.
for an
First
old
the chapel
beggar.
attacked, now the prophet ranting about the end of the world.
Welcome to A Fighting Chance. I'm Rosan, proprietor. I sell the best swords in the city, and I offer advanced training for armorers. Not smart to carry around broken equipment.
It's not broken.
Let's get to training.
No, don't want to train in that.
Good day.
Good day indeed. Okay, I think I'm going to take a break for, I don't know, 15 minutes, half an hour or something, and then I'll be back with the stream for part 2 of today's playthrough. So thank you everyone who's joined me for this, and I'll be back in a little while and we will continue on with this dungeon. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the follow, Donnie.